I'm meteorologist Bill Murray. It's Saturday, not Sunday, Saturday, the 20th of July. This is the date, 55 years ago, that America landed on the moon. A day I remember extremely prominently. I know that we could not wait. I think they landed about 3 in the afternoon, about 6 hours later before Neil Armstrong stepped on the surface of the moon. And it was an amazing experience that we all could not wait to see and watch on television. And it went beautifully and was just a tremendous experience. I went back and looked. It was a hot and humid day that day. It was a Sunday. Central Alabama, Birmingham 95 that day, which of course is above normal. 70 the morning low. It did have 0.05 of an inch of rain. Parts of Alabama got some rain today, and we're grateful for it, especially with the encroaching drought conditions that are going on across Alabama. And with a fairly troughy pattern, we're going to have some unusually robust rainfall amounts over the next 2 weeks, we hope, as we get into an extended wet period that is unusual for Alabama and the Deep South this time of year. Here's the MRMS radar composite from this morning. Actually yesterday morning, Friday. I'm recording this just before midnight on Friday night for you to consume on Saturday morning. And this is yesterday, Friday morning, the MRMS showing fairly widespread showers across the western half of Alabama. Those showers and a little bit of thunder moved across the northern half of the area through the morning hours and began to sort of fall apart. Meanwhile, another disturbance triggered showers and thunderstorms in southeast Mississippi, sort of along a warm front that was retreating back to the north, and showers and thunderstorms became fairly widespread in the Birmingham metro area over toward I-20. And that probably took the stuffing out of that system moving out of South Alabama during the evening hours. This is just around 8 o'clock tonight when there was big mass of moderate rain in areas between Birmingham, Shelby County down to Clanton, back to the southwest toward Marengo County, Demopolis. And then that activity over eastern Alabama sort of intensified a little bit when it got up to the I-20 corridor. A few flood advisories had to be issued. No big problems. I think I got somewhere right around 1/4 of an inch of rain. I'm going to kind of go ahead and go to the temperatures, which you normally wait till later. But just so you get a feel, we're going to be below normal, some 5 to 7 degrees over the next 7 days or so. High temperatures are going to be in the middle 80s, which is fantastic for July. We'll take it. Overnight lows right there around normal, 70 to 72. We'll start to heat back up as we get into deep into the weekend and into the following week, back to near normal readings there with highs returning to the lower 90s. Now, I'm going to take the HRRR here and sort of give you an idea of what to expect for today. Few scattered showers showing up there around sunrise into the early morning hours. Could be a few heavier showers, maybe a little thunder moving out of East Alabama. There are areas to the east and southeast of Anniston. We've got fairly decent coverage, not widespread, but certainly scattered to fairly numerous showers, maybe a little thunder there from Birmingham back down through Bibb into places like Selma. Moving on down into southwest Alabama there near Clark and parts of, Butler, Choctaw counties over in western Alabama. As we go into the, as we go through the morning hours, it appears that activity will sort of fall apart. But new showers will develop, showers and thunderstorms by early to mid-afternoon, and those will be progressing to the east and to the northeast during the day. They're not going to be especially widespread, probably not as widespread as they were on Friday, but there's a pretty good chance you could see a passing shower at some point during the day today on Saturday. Now, as we get into Sunday, the HRRR looks even, perhaps a little more widespread. Looks like a potential disturbance moving up during the afternoon into the evening hours. This is not exactly where it will rain, but it does appear areas from Birmingham back into the US 80 corridor, we'll see the best chances of rain as we go through the day on Sunday. Let's go to the GFS as our model of choice here, the upper pattern across North America. Early on this Saturday morning, showing a fairly amplified pattern for July with a decent trough there over the Midwest into the Arklatex. Big upper low there over eastern Canada. But we've got a weakness here in the pressure pattern from areas of Iowa, Nebraska, all the way back down into northwest Alabama. As we go through time, the subtropical ridge sort of hangs on there to the east, along the Atlantic coast down into Florida, and that weakness sort of retrogrades or develops back to the west as we go through time. And now we're all the way up to Tuesday night. Wednesday, you see that troughiness beginning to sort of diminish. The ridge is building over Alabama, but we're still in a very moist condition with fairly low pressures to our west, and that means showers and thunderstorms are going to be part of the forecast. You see the ridge trying to intensify. That's 594 decameter anticyclonal loft developing there over Alabama in the southeast by Saturday, and that should allow for those warming temperatures. I think it's going to be a fairly dirty high, though. There'll be still a lot of moisture around with the heating of each day, Saturday, Sunday. The showers and thunderstorms certainly won't go away. But we'll probably see more sunshine. They'll be more diurnal in nature and not occurring in the morning and the overnight hours like we're seeing right now. You can see as we're going out into the week 2 voodoo period, the ridge holds pretty strong, retrogrades a little bit to the west perhaps, starts to intensify over the mid-Atlantic. And as we get out toward the end of the period here around Friday, August 2nd, Friday night, August 2nd, we see another trough moving through the Great Lakes, and that could spell perhaps another wet weather period. Let's see. Let's go to the surface charts. This is the GFS, the QPF, and the mean sea level pressure, along with the thicknesses, showing today, fairly good chances of showers and thunderstorms across Alabama. You can see most everybody has a good chance of seeing a shower and thunderstorm. Those rain chances probably about 60 or 70%, highs in the 80s. So not a washout, but certainly you'll have to dodge a few showers and maybe a few lightning bolts here and there. As we get into Sunday, not much changes. The wet weather pattern continues. We've got the troughiness to the west, still significant moisture flow. And that provides really the surface fuel and the upper level support for more thunderstorms. Rain chances maybe even a little higher than today's we saw in the HRRR, 70 to 80%. They're going to primarily occur during the afternoon and evening. Highs are going to be around 84, 85 degrees. And I think on average, folks could get somewhere between 1/4 and 1/2 inch. With a few lucky spots, of course, getting more than that. As we go into Monday, the rainy period really doesn't let up. High moisture levels, upper level disturbances, that's what's going to be driving thunderstorm activity. Rain chances still around the 60 to 70% chance. We're going to stay high temperatures in the middle 80s, lows dropping to around 70 still. And again, on average, about 1/4 to 1/2 inch of rain with a few lucky spots. Of course, getting more than that. Now, as we're getting into Tuesday, again, we kind of see the same thing. Not going to change, and I think that's the same pattern we're going to see right on through Thursday. Highs in the middle 80s, 60, 70% chances of rain and thunderstorms each day, mainly probably occurring during the afternoon and evening hours, but we can't guarantee that. They really could occur at about any time. Now, we're on the doorstep of the weekend here by Friday, and maybe things are thinning out just a little bit. You see fewer in the way of showers and thunderstorms, less widespread rain, and that's going to allow those temperatures to probably begin heating up. Same thing for Saturday. You see the coverage is a little bit less, and as we get into Sunday, probably even less, just widely scattered showers and thunderstorms, mainly during the afternoon and evening. Now, as we go out into the week 2 voodoo period, you see fairly good chances there. That Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Looks like our rain chances will be going up. Here comes a front. Saturday the 2nd, or Saturday the 3rd, Friday night the 2nd. Pretty decent front working its way down into here with that strong high pressure over eastern Canada. The subtropical ridge back strongly in place, pumping moisture up into Alabama. And that means that we will be warm to hot and humid, seasonably hot, with high temperatures in the lower 90s and overnight lows in the lower 70s. Now, this is from the Weather Prediction Center. So this is a man-machine forecast here showing somewhere between 2.5 and almost 4 inches across central Alabama into north central Alabama. Least rainfall, falling in southeastern portions. But if we get this, 2.5 to 4 inches of rain over the next 7 days, that's not bad for July. We'll take that. That will help to alleviate the drought just a bit. It's not going to make it go away. That's for sure. Let's see what this looks like on the GFS. Now I'm going to go back because I have the full 18Z run at my disposal right now. And we're popping it out to 168 hours. You see that agrees with the WPC very well. Let's move it on out to the end of the period, 384 hours. That's going to take us all the way out to August 3rd. So not a lot of additional rain in that week 2 period. That makes sense. That's what we saw on the modeling. A few lucky spots might be popping up somewhere in the 6 to 8 inch range. That's always possible with these summer thunderstorms. They're generally feast or famine, but it looks like we could receive some beneficial rain. Now, here's the GFS. I'm going to take a peek first at winds. Over the basin, the Atlantic basin, things have been quiet since Beryl, which is great. And you can see, just looking at the surface winds, not really any no tropical cyclones developing. And in fact, that's what the ensembles say. This is the GFS ensemble, and it shows that almost no chance for tropical depression. The full run, the European is a little more bullish. This goes out to the 29th, and it's worried about a couple of locations that could develop there in that day 0 to 10 period. We'll kind of see if that happens. What's really going on, though, across the tropical Atlantic is really dry air. We're going to get this model, pulled back. So you got a big slug of dry air Saharan dust here. It's going to be moving across the Antilles today. We've got some dust moving into Florida. They may see some dusty raindrops over there in the Sunshine State this weekend. As we go through time, you see that that dryness is still there coming off of Africa. This is going to shut down in the next 2 to 3 weeks, and when it does, the tropical season will be all on. There's a pretty decent tropical wave moving through the Cape Verde Islands. That's going to be moving through there by the end of the week, and then it looks like that system, probably approaching the Lesser Antilles, in the Tuesday, Wednesday time frame in the week too, but we saw no real surface reflection in winds, but we see those strong tropical waves. There's another one moving across the Atlantic, but it just does not have the deep moisture that it needs at this point. Group had a great time talking to Jeff Linder from the Houston Flood Control District this past Monday night. If you haven't watched that show, go back and watch it. It was very timely, falling on the heels of Beryl, which struck southeast Texas a couple of weeks ago. This week, we're going to be celebrating the movie Twisters. I know you probably already run out to see it. If you haven't, we'll be talking to the producers of that movie, which looks like it's going to be a summer blockbuster for sure. You can watch us live Monday night at 7 o'clock. We're available at youtube.com/Weatherbrains. You can also pick us up in form of the audio podcast wherever you get your podcasts, or you can check out the show at weatherbrains.com. It's a labor of love we've been doing for nearly 19 years. Got to get to work on show 1000. It occurs on St. Paddy's Day next year, and we'll have to have a really big blowout for that event. Well, that's your weather video for this Saturday. It's the 20th. Thanks to Scott for sitting in for me. By the time he does the video tomorrow morning, I will be on an Amtrak train going to Washington, D.C. Looking forward to riding on the Crescent, which is one of my favorite things to do. So thank you, Scott, for sitting in for me. James will be back with 2 days all through the week, as he always does. I'll probably be back next Sunday, and Scott will be back in his place on Saturday. But until I get the chance to see you, as I always say, keep an eye to the sky, because you'll always have something fun to look at.